So I'll stay close to the mic here. Two concrete steps that started this process. You know, the building of 101 South Street in 2022, and shortly after that was leased to 4 flagship pioneering companies, Tessera, Sale, Celerity, and Generate Bio. Thank you very much. And so then we started building this building, and it's now complete and ready for occupancy. It's a beautiful LEED platinum building. It reads as an open book. I don't know if you can see that, but that's how it's supposed to read. And it's a beautiful building that ARC built. And then, you know, we built this space ready for dedication. And while it was the third step, it was by no means an afterthought. We worked very hard with the city, and in some ways, the green space was the center that we built the buildings around. And I think that really was a successful collaboration between the city and the zoning and the engineers that were involved in this. So, you know, the collaboration came around Summer Vision and the city's goal to build mixed-use development throughout the city and preserve the residential areas, to enhance the squares with transit-oriented development, and then to transform the industrial areas, which this is one of, like Interbelt and Assembly Row, Boynton Yards, and even to a certain extent Cambridge Crossing. And this is where all the jobs is being created. This is where all the tax revenues are being created. And 90% of the jobs that have occurred, the plan was for 30,000 new jobs. We have about 7,500 to date. And 90% of those are in the urban transformative areas. And so it's been successful. We've contributed 900 new jobs here, and Boynton Yards as a whole is contributing now about over $6 million a year in annual commercial tax revenues, which is substantive. And I will say that overall, it's not just Boynton Yards, but overall, the commercial tax base has grown from about $26 million to $62 million, which that's 2.5 times what it was, while the residential taxes have only gone up about 40%, you know, and the values have gone up and all that. But that's really success. That's what was planned, was to create a commercial tax base to fuel the growth of Somerville without putting that burden on the residences, and it's been a huge success. So I think we should all be grateful for that. This green space is a half an acre. It will extend all the way up to the railroad tracks eventually. Another 2 acres will be added to this development, as well as 440 apartments on the north, another lab building potentially, and another lab building on the other side here. So ultimately we'll have 2 million square feet, 440 apartments, and almost 2 acres of green space, as well as a vibrant arts and creative enterprise hub with 561 Windsor Street, and which we call the Hive. So I think this has all been going in a great direction, and we're looking forward to 2025. Looking forward to seeing how our new president helps us grow. And with that, I think I'd like to introduce Mayor Ballantyne.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, John. Isn't it a glorious day? The sun. You're awake, right? You're not sleeping? All the wind here. Thank you. Thank you for joining us as we celebrate the grand opening of Boynton Yards Park and 808 Windsor Street. I want to acknowledge that we have some elected officials with us today. The Councilor at Large, Jake Wilson, former Ward 3 Councilor Bobby McWaters in the back over there. And let me see, and you know, and I will share sending his regrets. The ward councilor, JT Scott, is not here yet, but I'm sure if he could be, he would be. Today marks a significant step forward, not only in this neighborhood, but for our entire city. as we open the new public green space and innovative life sciences hub right here in Boynton Yards. As many of you know, Somerville has set ambitious goals to expand open space in our densely developed city. For us, that means finding ways to be creative, impactful ways to turn our developments into public assets. Making sure that the spaces we create through private investment are meaningful and accessible for everyone. Our team is spearheading work on POPs, privately owned public spaces. And when I say our team, it's our Department of Public Space and Urban Forestry. So would you please raise your hand if you work in that department so we can thank you for all your hard work on this. So the guidelines of these POPs aim to ensure that public spaces from private development are just that, public. These spaces should look and feel like they belong to all of us, open and welcoming to every community member. Boynton Yards Park is an outstanding example of this commitment, a park designed for people who live and work here, and also for the many Somerville residents who pass through or visit this neighborhood. Here, the Boynton Yards development team has brought to life a vision that embodies what it means to build a truly vibrant neighborhood. This is a place where innovation and community coexist, where public spaces serve as the foundation for connection, and where tenants and residents alike share in the benefits of the quality of outdoor space. With the open lawn, the splash pad, I heard that Louisa wanted to see if she could turn it on, but it's been winterized. so you're dry. Was designed with our community needs and values in mind. This park and the surrounding spaces are just the beginning of a vision to transform Boynton Yards into a work, live, play destination. As we look ahead, the larger master plan for Boynton Yards will include more public spaces, all created with the goal of fostering community and enhancing the quality of life for all who come here. With projects like this, we are creating spaces that benefit everyone, not just those who work within these walls, but our entire city. And let's not overlook the broader significance of 808 Windsor Street. This new life science building will bring jobs, opportunity, economic vitality, and attracting the talent and innovation that defines Somerville's spirit. I want to extend my gratitude to the architects, the builders, and everyone who's involved that made 808 Windsor Street an impressive, sustainable, built space. A special thank you to our partners at DLJ Real Estate Capital Partners, Leggett McCall Properties, and Deutsche Finance America, who helped bring this vision to life. I also want to give a huge thanks to our incredibly talented and forward-thinking and passionate public space and urban forestry team. I have to say it again because you guys are amazing. Especially Director Louisa Oliveira for their commitment to growing and nurturing green space in Somerville. Today's ribbon cutting is a celebration of partnership and a commitment to shared spaces that reflect Somerville values. Thank you all for being here today. Let's continue working together to shape a Somerville that serves and connects us all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Now I'd like to introduce Louisa Oliveira for a couple comments.
Hi everyone, thanks for coming today. Can you hear me? Lean in, they're saying, lean in. So I want to thank everyone for being here today. It's really easy to show up someplace and be like, what a nice park. But in reality, there were so many people who worked on this park and made it happen. I can remember first conversations with the development team where we were kind of giving them the side eye of like, this has got to be a good park. And they were like, of course, we believe that, we want that. And we were like, let's see what happens after you build the buildings and there's no money left. But here they are giving us all the things that we asked for. The splash pad, which yes, I could not wet you on, but will be an active place for people and families in the summer. A great lawn, open spaces that everyone should feel welcomed to. This is really what the new zoning aims to do and what our team, Public Space and Urban Forestry, aims to do. I'm sorry to tell the development team, but we finally finished a civic space guide that has a checklist for the process. So now we can actually help people get through it, even though it was so painful for you. You helped us learn what we want from other developers. And I think this is an excellent collaboration and an example of where sometimes people are very polarized, and we really did work together to try to get every little ounce of open space and usable to the community open space from you, and you really did deliver it. So we thank you for that partnership.
You're not going to make us change anything, are you?
John wants to know if we're going to make him change anything. We got a couple things on our punch list, but we'll get there. And we're not done. We have more open spaces. Remember that this is going to be an entirely new neighborhood, so there are more opportunities to make open spaces that serve not only the folks doing all these wonderful science experiments, but also the people who live in this neighborhood, like me. The other thing I want to thank the Public Space and Urban Forestry team, Allison Maurer, Arn Franzen, Estello, Reganet, Meg Coughlin, and John Bronenkant for their really careful work in making sure that everything is executed. I want to thank Copley Wolf Landscape Architects. I want to thank for this beautiful design vision and for working with us and for taking our suggestions and giving them form. I want to thank Shama Construction and their subs Exquisite for making it exquisite, because remember, there are actually people who are putting in the blood, sweat, and tears. And again, I really hope that the work that we're doing here is going to be replicated in other parts of the city, because as we privatize more public space, we really need to be thinking about the way we can do this together so that these spaces work for everyone. Thank you. I think I have a ribbon. Does someone have scissors?
Get closer, we'll stay warmer.
All right, guys, you have it?
Okay, say trees.
Trees.
1, 2, trees.